Hi, my name is Jay with Kick Foosball Tables. First off, I'd like to welcome you to the Kick family. Today I'll be showing you how to properly set up and assemble your Kick Vanquish 55-inch foosball table. I hope this instruction video is helpful. With no further delay, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you want to do is open your box and take a look at your contents. Then, lay each piece out onto your floor individually. If you are assembling your foosball table on a hard surface, I do recommend that you lay down a large blanket or large piece of cardboard. That way we don't damage our table during the assembly process. Next, you want to match each part to what's inside your instruction manual. After sorting out all the parts in the box, and once you've matched each part to what's inside your instruction manual, if you notice any missing or damaged parts, please contact Kick Customer Support with pictures of the shipping label, the box itself, and the damaged part. Our contact information will be listed at the end of this video. For step 1, again, you just want to make sure that you are assembling your foosball table on something soft, like a piece of carpet or a piece of cardboard. That way you don't damage your table during the assembly process. For step 2, we'll be sliding our playing field P3 into both the grooves that you see here on both side panels P1. Now what you want to make sure is that the ball entry hole is faced downwards and closest to the floor, and that your graphics on your playing field are also face down. And go ahead and insert your play field into the groove on one of the side panels. Then you want to go ahead and turn your assembly upside down and insert your play field into the other groove on the other side panel. For step 3 and 4, we'll be attaching both of our end panels P2 to both side panels P1 using our bolts H3, our washers H4, our screws H6, and our chrome corner pieces P13. You just want to go ahead and slide your end panel under the groove on both side panels, making sure that the playing field also sits on top of the groove on top of the end panel that you see here. Next, we'll be inserting our chrome corner piece into both the grooves here on both side panels and end panel. You also want to make sure that the hole on your chrome corner piece is faced inwards towards the side panel. The part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and line up your chrome corner piece and it should slide right down. Next, you want to insert your H3 bolt and H4 washers into the two bottom holes on the side panel. Then you want to secure using the Allen wrench that was provided. Next, we'll be attaching our chrome corner piece to our side panel using screws H6. Now you might need to provide your own Phillips head screwdriver, however, I'll be using my impact driver fitted with the Phillips head tip to help speed along the process. Go ahead and insert your screw into the small hole on the chrome corner piece and secure. For step 5, we'll be attaching our play field to both end panels using screws H5. You will notice that there are 4 pre-drilled holes on your playing field. Just go ahead and insert your screw into all 4 of those holes. And then secure. Next, we're attaching all 3 of our support braces to both side panels using brackets P6 and screws H6. This part's pretty simple. So you want to go ahead and line up your bracket, making sure that the bracket's flush with your support brace. Then go ahead and attach your bracket using your H6 screw. These holes are not pre-drilled, so you might need to add some pressure when screwing in your screws. Next, we're attaching our support braces to both side panels using screws H6. What you want to make sure is that you align your support brace about a foot from the end panel on both sides. In the third brace, you want to just go ahead and align it in the middle. And go ahead and insert your H6 screw and secure. These holes are not pre-drilled, so you might need to apply some pressure when screwing in your screws. For step 7, we'll be attaching both of our legs P4A and P4B along with our crossbar P12 and our bolts H1 and our washers H2. One way to determine that you are adding the correct leg to the correct side of the table is you want to go ahead and line the 4 holes that you see here on your leg to the 4 holes on the side panel and the end panel. You also want to make sure that the shallow hole that you see here on your leg faces inwards towards the other leg. And go ahead and insert your H1 bolt in your H2 washer. Then you want to secure it with the Allen wrench that was provided. Now you do not want to fully tighten your bolt at this time. You want to leave some wiggle room so that you can attach your crossbar. Next, you want to insert the crossbar between both of the holes on your leg. Once your crossbar is securely in place, you can tighten all your bolts. Next, we'll be attaching our leg levelers P9 to the bottom base of each leg. This part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and screw down your leg leveler all the way down to the bottom base of your leg. And the purpose of these leg levelers is to stabilize your table during play. So that if one side is higher than the other, you just unscrew them a couple notches to even out your playing field. Once you've attached all your leg levelers to the bottom base of each leg, we can now move on to the next step in turning over our table. This is a 2-person job, so we need some assistance for this part of the assembly. What you want to make sure is that you don't rest the weight of the table on either of the legs. So you just want to turn over your table in one swift full motion so all the legs hit the ground at the same time. For step 8, we'll be attaching our ball entry cups P8 into the hole on the both side panels using our H7 screw. So you want to go ahead and insert your ball entry cup, making sure that it's flush with the top of the side panel. Insert your H7 screw and secure. Now these holes are not pre-drilled, so you might need to apply some pressure when screwing in your screws. Next, we're attaching both of our slide scores P11 to both end panels using our H8 screw. You will notice that there are 2 pre-drilled holes here on your end panel. Just want to go ahead and line up your slide scores to those holes. Insert your H8 screw and secure. For step 9, we're attaching our side and corner ramps 2A and 2B and 3A and 3B to our table using our S1 screw. You might notice the 2 different sizes of triangle ramps in your box. One's a little bit smaller than the other. However, the larger one that you see here is only used if you plan on going with a 1-man goalie setup. This will not work with a 3-man goalie setup. I will be attaching the smaller of the 2 corner ramps today. However, if you plan on going with the 1-man goalie setup, feel free to use the larger ramp. And I will attach a video in the next couple of clips to explain to you the differences between a 1-man goalie versus a 3-man goalie setup. So feel free to go ahead and fast forward to take a look at that clip prior to screwing down your corner ramps. What you want to make sure is that you add the correct corner ramp to the correct side of the table. Go ahead and line up all your pieces first around the perimeter prior to screwing them down. You might notice this filled lining tape in your box. This was actually an option for the older model that did not include these new plastic ramps. However, I am going to be installing these plastic ramps today because they actually do work better and they do look better than the filled lining tape. So this is still an option. You can add this if you want, or you can add the ramps. It's completely up to you. Once your ramps are set up properly in place, you can go ahead and secure using your S1 screw. Next, you might have noticed these little green stickers located in your box. These are to cover the screws on your ramps. Before we move on to step 10 and insert all of our player rods and attach each player to each rod, I'm going to show you a short video and explain to you the differences between a one-man goalie versus a three-man goalie setup. One-man goalie versus a three-man goalie setup. Most beginners and some others prefer a three-man goalie setup because there's more defense around the goal, making it harder to score and giving their user more control over the field. While some others prefer a more competitive, fast-paced one-man goalie setup. It's completely up to you. If you choose a one-man goalie setup, instead of having the other two outer men on the goalie rod, you'll replace them with the 4 black stop rings. For step 10, we'll be inserting all of our player rods and attaching each player to each rod. The most important part of setting up your foosball table is making sure that all your rods and players are in the correct position. So you want to carefully review the diagram that I've attached in this next clip prior to inserting your rods. What you want to make sure is that there's a hole on the correct side of the table where the handles will later go. Rod and player setup. Place 4 handles on each side of the table in this specific order. You also want to make sure that the home team is set up in this specific order as seen in the diagram. Make sure your players are all facing the opposing team and towards the other opponent's goal, not the same team or your own goal. Once you've lined up all your player rods in the correct position on the top of the table, you can go ahead and insert your player rod into one of the side panels. Just want to go ahead and insert them about halfway for now. That way we can attach all of our players. When attaching your players to your rod, you want to note that there's a bumper, a washer. Then you want to add the correct amount of players per holes in the rod. Then you want to add another washer. And another bumper. Then you want to complete by sliding through the second hole. We'll be attaching our players using our C6 bolt and our C7 nut. This part's pretty simple. You just want to go ahead and line up the hole in the back of the player to the hole in the rod. Turn the player around and insert your C6 bolt into the chest of the player. Then you want to insert your C7 lock nut, making sure that the plastic piece faces outward into the back of the player. I'm going to hold the nut in place, turn the player around, and secure. Your new foosball table comes with 2 different types of foosballs. Smooth for hard and straight shots and fast-moving offense, or soccer or football, which is textured for greater friction, power, and control. For step 11, we'll be attaching our handles P7 to the other end of our rod using screws H9. This part's pretty simple. So we're going to line up the hole on the handle to the hole on the rod. Then insert your H9 screw and secure. Next, you want to attach your rubber end caps P10 to the other end of the rod. Congratulations! We have finally finished assembling your Kick Vanquish 55-inch foosball table. You are now free to enjoy your table with your friends and family. Again, I hope this instructional video was helpful. If If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please visit us at www.kickfoosballtables.com, or you can email us at support@kickfoosballtables.com. You can also call us at 1-866-844-5425. That's 1-866-844-5425.